Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us on our webinar this morning. I would like to firstly start by introducing myself for those who don't know me yet. My name's Tony and I'm the Tourism Development Account Manager for Brand USA in Australia and New Zealand. And I'm really excited to be here today to bring you this webinar to enrich your USA knowledge, focusing on the gateways and beyond with LA, San Diego and Anaheim. So on our webinar today, we have Kathleen Brown, our local representative for Los Angeles, Benjamin Eastman zooming in from San Diego, and Michael Young zooming in from Anaheim. Thanks for joining us. So we, like I said, have a jam-packed hour today. So I'll run through it now with you so you know what to expect. So first, I'll kick it off with some updates from Brand USA, focusing on an overview of our agent tools and resources. And then I'll pass the baton over to Kathleen, Benjamin, and Michael for their LA, San Diego, and Anaheim destination updates. After that, we'll have some time for a Q&A. So if you've got any questions as we go along, pop them into the Zoom question box so you don't forget them, and we'll answer them all at the end for you. Then we will wrap up with a Kahoot quiz. We've got a $200 gift card up for grabs for the winner, so you'll definitely want to be in for the running for that. Lastly, this session is being recorded and we'll upload it to our YouTube channel after we're done. So if you want to refer back to it or share it with a colleague, that link is going to be sent out in a follow-up email you'll receive from us, as well as posted to our Facebook page. So we'll start with our Brand USA updates, looking at some of our key resources for travel agents. First up, our travel trade website, which is where we'll always start because it is the epicenter for all our agent resources. Our travel trade website is your first stop for all your USA inquiry. It's the official resource for USA travel trade planning, where you'll find inspiration, information to help you book more travel to the US. You can browse regional and themed itineraries here, beginning in key gateway cities and exploring beyond them to discover both iconic landmarks and hidden gems, as you'll discover today. The Travel Trade website features heaps of really great tools, such as destination overviews, suggested itineraries like our insider guides, images, videos, FAQs, destination partner info, and much, much more. And lastly, our Travel Trade website is where our trip planner tool is housed, which I'll show you shortly. Brand USA Discovery Program. Now, I'm sure many of you, potentially most of you, have heard about this program or have even completed various badges. But for anyone who hasn't, our online training program is one of a kind. So not only will you become a specialist in specific states or regions, but you'll also become part of our community where you can share knowledge and ask questions. It's also how we keep in touch with you and keep you updated about upcoming activity and events. So we have over 60 badges to complete, covering all regions and states, such as Discover California, and even some themed badges like our USA City Specialist badge. The modules are short and sharp because we know you're busy and provide you with an overarching understanding so you can speak confidently with clients about their US plans. And what's really great about each of these badges is that once you complete them, each of these little specialist badge icons are downloadable. So if you're creating an itinerary for a client, you can pop a badge icon on your communications to display that you're an expert in that area. Another great reason to register or log in and start your USA Discovery Program training is our current agent incentive, the Dash for Cash. So it did start on the 8th of August, and we've got 1.5 weeks to go. It's running right through to the 28th of October. And every single badge you complete before that date will give you an entry to win one of 10, well, actually the $100 prizes are all gone, but there's 2 grand prizes of $500 still up for grabs in the final week. So to be in with a chance of winning one of the gift cards, Australians need to enter at usadiscoveryprogram.com.au and New Zealand entrants need to enter at usadiscoveryprogram.co.nz. And you'll find all the details, including terms and conditions, on those web pages. If you are a new user, you need to register, and you just start by completing the USA Regional Expert Badge as your first step. But every badge, including that you complete before the 28th of October, gets you an entry. So there's no better time to brush up on your US knowledge than now. So the trip planner is one of my favorite tools that we have. And we do show this video with every presentation because it's just so great that you've got this at your fingertips. Essentially, it generates a day-by-day itinerary that is fully customizable. All you need to do is add the locations your clients want to visit, their travel dates, and how many people are traveling. You can also preference the type of travelers they are, and then the planner will give you a day-by-day, hour-by-hour itinerary for your clients, and you can share it directly from the platform. So what I'm going to do is show you a little video so you can see how it works in action. So you can see a big trip being planned out here, starting in LA, and heading to 5 or 6 different destinations, and you can add multiple locations, as many as you'd like. You add your travel dates and the number of travelers. And here's where you can add their activity preferences and preferred travel pace. And then based on that information, the planner is going to give you a customizable day-by-day itinerary with suggested activities. So you'll see the activities there, and if you click through, you can even get an hour-by-hour breakdown of your days. You can change or add things up as you need. I know that clients can change their minds about what they will need. And then once you're happy with the itinerary, you can then download it or share it directly with your clients from here. It's a really fantastic tool. If you're looking for something that's a pre-planned itinerary, you'll want to check out our useful insider guides. The insider guides allow you to access customizable, usually self-drive itineraries to suit your clients' needs. And you can download them again via that travel trade site, and the products and tours are bookable through your major wholesalers, both in Australia and New Zealand. So for instance, we have our Shopping USA Insider Guide that gives you city shopping itineraries across 10 of the best shopping destinations in the US. I'll give you just a very quick overview of this itinerary so you have an idea of how they work. So on the first page, you'll have a map with all the places we're going to visit on this trip, and then a page-by-page itinerary on where to go and what to visit. So as you can see with this trip, there are itineraries across 10 different destinations. So to give you an idea, we'll have a look at the itineraries for Los Angeles and San Diego. So on day 1 of the LA itinerary, your clients start their shopping with a visit to Del Amo Fashion Center's over 200 luxury stores. There are some great suggestions for where to take a bite before heading to Anaheim, home to Disneyland, and the outlets at Orange to look for bargains. On day 2, clients head to Beverly Hills and Rodeo Drive before exploring Hollywood, Santa Monica, and more on day 4. For a San Diego shopping day, clients can head out to Las Americas premium outlets to shop for bargains, then hit Fashion Valley for designer goods before exploring the nightlife of Gaslamp Quarter, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that later. Another really great travel inspiration tool to recommend both to your clients and to watch yourself is Go USA TV. Go USA TV is America's premium travel entertainment network, where travelers can watch stories about the US's must-see places, great outdoors, foodie hotspots, and amazing road trips. From giant screen films like National Parks Adventure and America's Musical Journey, to fascinating series like Trails and Trailblazers, to short 5-minute episodes uncovering the secrets of unexplored Los Angeles with locals, there's something for everyone on this platform. You can search by genre, theme, or region, and there are heaps of great episodes for you to watch or share with your clients to inspire their travels. Brand USA's Global Marketplace is another great resource. This is an always-on virtual platform that provides access to a diverse range of US destinations, attractions, and points of interest for the travel industry. So I like to think of this as a virtual trade show, a one-stop shop for you to interact with US travel partners. It features 5 portals, each designed for virtual exploration of the 50 states, 5 territories, and District of Columbia. Brand USA Global Marketplace provides registered users with travel itineraries, destination marketing collateral, and insights from industry experts. The main stage serves as a place for educational seminars, while the USA Partner Pavilions, featuring partner pods representing the entire US, and the Buyer Pavilion facilitate one-to-one meetings. In the networking lounge, you've got the opportunity to engage outside of scheduled sessions, and there's video on demand allowing for self-guided discovery with 3 screens showing a variety of travel entertainment, educational, and featured programming. Good news is, by registering for this webinar, your company has been added to the buyer list, so you can register and check out the global marketplace for yourself. So I'll show you just a little bit of what happens in these partner pods. You'll see here, you've got a connect here email feature, videos, logos, social media links, and other collateral can be downloaded into a virtual briefcase. And at number 5 there, you'll see a fishbowl where you can exchange virtual business cards, which is really excellent as well. So before we head into our presentations, there's one more resource I'd like to introduce you to. It is our What to See and Do Across the USA calendar. And this has just been updated for October and provides a snapshot of the key happenings across the US right through to January 23, focusing on new transport routes, new hotel openings, festivals, sporting events, upcoming films and TV shows. In addition to nationwide events, the calendar is divided into 5 geographical regions: Northeast, Midwest, Southwest, and US territories. We want a calendar to be a valuable resource for you and a source of inspiration. So it will be updated every 3 to 4 months. And our hope is that you can share this valuable information directly with your clients as well. You can download What to See and Do Across the USA via the Travel Trade site or the Gate 7 Resource Centre. So we are super excited to have our guest presenters for today's webinar, presenting on LA, San Diego, and Anaheim. I will start with a big welcome to Kathleen Brown, Travel Trade Manager at Los Angeles Tourism. Kathleen, welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. Just having a look through the participants joining us, and I've seen a lot of familiar names, so that's really exciting. I'm glad to see so many people, but there's also some new names, so I'm glad because I have kind of a mix of slides to show you today, some kind of 101 basics, and then some kind of updates of what's new hotels, new attractions, and lots happening in Los Angeles. But I will jump in as long as I can see Michael's on the screen. Michael, do you want to give me a nod that you can see my screen?
All
Beautiful.
good.
Yeah, all good. Jumping in. So, of course, we can't talk about Los Angeles without talking about LAX. It's a huge point for us to talk about the connections at the airport. As you know, Los Angeles International Airport, or LAX, is not only an important gateway for Australia and New Zealand to not only Southern California, but the entire North American continent. There are currently 112 destinations in the US connected non-stop from LAX, making it, the ideal connection to connect from Australia and New Zealand to the rest of the US. To ensure that LAX remains a world-class airport, we have invested, me personally, obviously, but no, the airport has invested over $14 billion into the LAX modernization program, which is due for completion next year. So much has been happening, which I'll run through. It's considered the largest public works program in the history of Los Angeles. So it's a huge undertaking, and there'll be so many exciting changes for you when you see LA for yourself and also for your clients. So this is just a quick overview of all of the connections that we have from Australia and NZ into LAX at the moment. As you can see, there's lots picking up, there's more capacity. So we're hoping to see that increase even more in the next year or so, and hopefully even beyond into the future. So what's new? One of the biggest openings is we've got the Delta Skyway. The first stage has opened, which is a a complete revamp of Terminal 2 and 3. So Terminal 3 has just opened their new retail and dining just last week. There's elevated check-in, security and baggage claim, a completely new lounge and for Delta passengers. And then they'll also be connected to Tom Bradley International Terminal once the full completion is all the final stages are completed. Then jumping over to our most significant development, which is the LAX Automated People Mover, which will launch again in 2023, so only next year. It will make the APM will make it easier, faster, more efficient for your clients to easily transfer between all terminals, quickly access their rental cars through an off-site rental car facility, and they'll also be able to connect to the Metro Light Rail. It's about a 3.5-kilometer train track connecting all 9 terminals. It's completely free to use and it runs every 2 minutes, 24 hours a day. So this will be a huge game changer for LAX as well. So jumping into a neighborhood overview, as I said, this is kind of a basic overview, but just something to kind of familiarize yourselves with just how big Los Angeles is and how many things there are to offer. So we do have 7 regions, everything from the beach cities, which includes LAX, which is that pale yellow area on the left side. You've got the west side in green, which also incorporates mid-city as well, or mid-Wilshire as well. Downtown, Hollywood, the Valley, and South Los Angeles as well. So a few of the kind of key attractions for one of those neighborhoods, which is LAX and the beach cities. You can see things that you're very familiar with, like LAX, Santa Monica Pier, Abbot Kinney Boulevard in Venice Beach. You've got Muscle Beach. There's also things like the Porsche Experience Center down in Carson, and the Getty Villa up near Malibu, or on your way to Malibu. So much happening around that kind of beach coastal area. For downtown and South LA, this is a really amazing place for live sports. You've got things like the Crypto.com Arena, which was formerly known as the Staples Center. You've got Dodger Stadium there as well. For arts and culture, there's amazing museums and concert venues like the Walt Disney Concert Hall, the Broad, which is a phenomenal modern art museum, the Arts District as well, which is a more kind of urban art experience, lots of street art, lots of mixed in with breweries and distilleries in kind of a very modern arts venue. Lots of shopping and then lots of fantastic museums in downtown as well. On the west side and mid-Wilshire, this is such a great place for not only shopping, but also for museums. It's home to the Miracle Mile, which is named because it's a mile of museums. So on that street, you've got the Peterson Automotive Museum, you've got LACMA, the La Brea Tar Pits and Museum, and just opened across the road from the Peterson is the new Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, which I'll touch on a bit later on. But we've also got fantastic shopping in the Grove, very close to Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills, Westfield Century City, and of course the original Farmers Market as well. So much happening there in West Side and Mid-Wilshire. And then lastly, for my neighborhood overview, we've got Hollywood and the Valley. This is, of course, something that most people will be very familiar with, home to iconic LA attractions like the Dolby Theatre, the Walk of Fame. You've got the Paramount Studio Tour just on the east side of Hollywood. Something that you may not know is that the Hollywood and Highland precinct is going through a refurbishment and is being renamed as Ovation Hollywood. So we'll have a lot of the same shops and experiences, but just it won't be called Hollywood and Highland anymore. It'll be called Ovation Hollywood. And lots of great studio behind the scenes movie experiences and our theme park as well, which is Universal Studios Hollywood. So new hotels, some really exciting updates. We've had so many new openings recently. One of those that you may be familiar was the former Nomad Hotel has reopened just recently as Hotel Perla. So it's obviously on the same site. Most of the rooms are pretty similar to the design that Nomad had before. Beautiful public spaces and that amazing rooftop bar in downtown. Another new opening in downtown is the Conrad, which is a luxury property by Hilton, and that's directly across the road from the Walt Disney Concert Hall. So the Thompson Hotel is a new luxury property in Hollywood. This is in a new up and coming area of Hollywood called the Vinyl District, which is close to the Capitol Records, some of the most significant music districts of Hollywood, and where lots of famous tracks were set and laid down. The Thompson is a beautiful hotel, lots of very residential feel, living spaces, and a stunning rooftop bar and pool, which has a really great restaurant as well. Just next door is the Tommy Hotel. This is a mid to high range hotel as well, just around the corner. They are sister properties, so you can cross charge between the hotels. So if you are dining at one hotel and wanting to swap over to the other, you can then charge back to your room in whichever hotel you're staying, but very close to walk, literally around the corner, and also in a really safe precinct of Hollywood. So it's a great place to look at if you're looking for a new area of Hollywood to recommend to your clients. Another exciting hotel that I'm really excited to talk about is the Short Stories Hotel. This is opposite the Grove and the original Farmers Market. So it's a fantastic location. It's quite a boutique hotel. I think it's around 60 rooms. It used to be known as the Farmer's Daughter Hotel, but it's been rebranded and had given a whole new fresh coat of paint, a lot brighter, a lot lighter, beautiful outdoor patio. But I think this is going to be really popular with Australians and Kiwis, just in terms of the way we travel, the hotels that we like to stay in. This is definitely one I'd recommend for clients who are looking to kind of immerse themselves in that outdoor laid back luxury style of Los Angeles. Speaking of luxury, we've just had the Fairmont Century Plaza open last year in Century City. So this is directly behind the Westfield Century City. It's connected by a bridge, so you can walk directly into the mall as well. It's a beautiful property. It's a historic property that had been completely gutted and redone and opened as a Fairmont. It's got 400 rooms. Every single room has a terrace. So really great opportunity to, have some open air space in your room and not have to worry about which room you're booking. Amazing restaurant and a beautiful outdoor pool space as well. And then at the airport, we've got another new property. This is a dual property, which is Hyatt House, Hyatt Place. The difference is that Hyatt House is more of a residential apartment style, and Hyatt Place is your traditional hotel room style. So they do share a lot of the same amenities and public spaces, but a different kind of style of accommodation depending on what you're looking for. Just steps away from the airport, of course, with a free airport shuttle as well, and a free breakfast for both properties. So, if you're looking for something that's quite affordable and you don't have to worry about adding things on, this is a really great option. And then some upcoming hotels. We've got the Moxie and AC Hotel in downtown and the Whiskey Hotel in Hollywood, which is opening very shortly, looking to be next year, I think. Moving on, we've got new attractions. Of course, as I mentioned, the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures opened on September last year. So they just celebrated their their first anniversary. There was a pretty big gala, so you might have seen some red carpet pictures just this week. It's the largest museum in the US devoted to the art and science of movie making. There are incredible exhibitions on display. There's a huge dome, which you can see in the picture there, which has an amazing outdoor terrace that has views over all of the Hollywood Hills. You can see basically 180 degrees from the west side over to downtown LA, and just a great place for cinema experiences or to touch base with some of your favorite movies. One of the exhibits at the moment is a deep dive into The Godfather and the making of The Godfather. One of the most exciting things for me as a huge Nintendo fan is the opening of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios. That's opening next year. There's some kind of sneak peeks into the rides. One of those will be the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, which apparently is one of the most interactive rides ever built. So I'm excited to go on it, and I'm sure that you'll get some inquiries as well. And then lastly, one of our new tours is the SoFi Stadium tour. You may recognize SoFi Stadium as the newest NFL stadium in the US. It's also the largest stadium in the NFL, and it was the home of the Super Bowl in early this year in February. It will also be the home of the 2028 Olympics opening ceremony. So it's such an amazing experience. It's the only NFL stadium I've been to that has a cabana bar and a margarita bar that overlooks the field. But you can do a stadium tour, and they run very often, multiple times a day. They go for about 90 minutes. So if you've got some sports fans, great tour, really affordable as well. So definitely recommend if they're looking to get in, get close to the action on the field. It's very close to LAX, about 10 minutes to 15 minutes drive away. So really centrally located as well. Okay, jumping into trade tools, we do have our travel trade website, which is discoverlosangeles.com/travel-trade. There's lots of visitors guides, sample itineraries, images and videos you can use for your own marketing, your own social channels if you'd like. We have our own webinar library as well. And then we've got some member interviews with some of our members to get their tips and tricks on those individual products, like Warner Brothers Studio Tour or Amtrak train if you're heading down the coast on the Pacific Surfliner down to Anaheim or San Diego. A really great option to get to know that product a bit more. And then we also have a dedicated travel trade Facebook, which is facebook.com/LA Tourism Travel Trade, or you can just search Los Angeles Tourism Travel Trade on Facebook as well. So that's it from me. I know I talk super fast because there's so much to cover and just scratching the surface of all the things there are to do in LA. But if you do have any questions, I encourage you to please email me. I'm always happy to help with your itineraries or inquiries or whatever else you need. But that's it from me, and I will hand back reluctantly, but I will. All right, thanks so much.
Thanks, Kat. Thank you so much. That was great. I think we're all on fast forward today. There's so much to get through because all of the destinations are so amazing. I will share my screen so I can introduce you all to our next guest. Bear with me for 2 seconds. So we're going to head over to San Diego next. So please welcome Benjamin Eastman, Senior Director of Tourism Development at San Diego Tourism Authority. And he is joining us from San Diego today, or yesterday afternoon, as it is over there. So welcome, Benjamin, and thanks for taking time out of your afternoon to join us.
Thank you. Well, it's a beautiful 31, 32 degrees out here in San Diego today. We are anxiously awaiting the first game of this new Padres. Sorry, Kat, but the Padres did beat the Dodgers this last weekend and progressed into the playoffs. So we're very excited to have a game coming up shortly. I did get a chance to see some of you at the Visit USA shows this year. So hello to all of you. And for those I didn't get a chance to meet, I look forward to giving you this presentation and answering any questions you might have. So let me share my screen here. And hopefully it will work because I tend to have issues. Let's see. Tony, how's that looking?
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, it worked this time. All right. So San Diego, what we like to do is call ourselves California's beach city. We are surprisingly to some people, the second largest city in the States, and a great extension of Los Angeles, as most Australians and New Zealanders are flying into Los Angeles, just a few hours drive south of Los Angeles in LAX. And the great thing about San Diego is really it's a combination of both big city, urban cultural experience, and Southern California great beaches. 70 miles of beaches, great outdoor experiences within San Diego. I could talk the entire time, but I want to just show you this video as well to kind of get you excited about the destination. So that was a quick cut of some of the fun stuff that's happening in the destination. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into some of these. Great destination for active travelers because of our great weather year round. We average about 21 Celsius year round, but as I just mentioned, we're in October and we're still up in the 30s, which is fantastic. Great destination for surfing and sailing and kayaking, being out on the beach, playing volleyball. To the east of the city and to the north, there's some great hiking trails. Big golf destination with over 70 golf courses. We were the host of the US Open recently as well for those big golf players. And great destination for marathons and mud runs and people that just want to get out and be racing and enjoying outdoors. We're also a big foodie city. As any large city in the US, you're going to find that we've got cuisine from all across the world. But really the regional cuisine that we like to talk about is what we call Cali Baja cuisine. Because of our closeness to the Mexican border, our downtown is about a 25-minute drive from the Mexico border. We see a lot of influences of that culture and of that cuisine come into the region. And because of the 70 miles of coastline that we have in San Diego, you're going to see a lot of great fresh seafood, lots of great farm fresh ingredients from the farmers around San Diego. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our craft beer scene with over 135 craft breweries in the region. We were kind of the originator of what's called the West Coast IPA style here in San Diego, but lots of different, very forward-thinking craft beer types here in San Diego, as well as a number of wineries and distilleries that are making a name for themselves as well. So great destination for eating and drinking here in San Diego. Of course, we are a big destination for major attractions. You'll hear from Michael and Anaheim, the great attractions that are up there. Down here in San Diego, the ones that really stand out are Legoland, California, which is great for families with kids up to about age 12. It's not just Legos, it's about 60 different rides, lots of fun, different lands. There's some highlights of the Lego movie in there as well. They also have a sea life aquarium and a water park during the summertime. Most people know San Diego for the San Diego Zoo. It's quite world famous for the work that they do around the world for conservation, but a great experience, about 100 acres of really interesting and innovative zoo experiences just outside of downtown San Diego. And SeaWorld San Diego was actually the first SeaWorld within the US. They've done a great job of creating new roller coasters and rides and experiences over the last few years. They've got a new roller coaster that will be opening up next summer as well. So great fun for the family of all ages. You can be on the roller coasters, you can go to the shows, you can go to the aquariums and see the animals as well. And throughout the year, they've also got all sorts of different events happening, whether it's Halloween or the holidays or craft beer festivals. There's always something happening throughout the year to enhance your experience there. I also wanted to highlight the USS Midway, which is an aircraft carrier museum in downtown. It's a retired aircraft carrier. Most people have never even been close to an aircraft carrier like this, but you can actually get on board, walk around. There's an audio tour that will take you throughout the ship. You can sit in the cockpits of jet planes and helicopters and kind of really get a feeling for what life is like on a military ship like this. And it's really fascinating, but it's also a great location to be able to see downtown San Diego, Coronado, the Bay throughout the year as well. The San Diego Zoo Safari Park is a sister property for the San Diego Zoo. It's about 40 minutes northeast of downtown San Diego, so just a little bit outside of town. But the beauty of that is that it's now 1,800 acres of land where the animals, as you can see, are a little bit more wild roaming. You're not taking your car right into the middle of the enclosure. You may not be able to see it in that picture, but there's a tram that kind of goes around the outside of most of the enclosure, so you can see the animals from a little bit further away and see them interact with each other. So it's a great experience. They've also got zip lines there. They've got a hot air balloon. They've got photo safaris, which take you out into the middle of the enclosure to take pictures of the animals. It's a lot of great premium experiences, especially for those who really love animals. Sesame Place is SeaWorld's part water park, part theme park, highlighting Sesame Street and the characters there. They've got great parades and shows on land, but also a number of water slides for the warmer months of the year for everyone to enjoy. I'll just highlight a few of the main neighborhoods. I always like to say there are over 100 different neighborhoods within San Diego to experience. I'll highlight 5 or 6, which most people see within the first visit of San Diego. But if you've got people who have been to San Diego before, there are certainly other neighborhoods that you could expand out to, and I'd be happy to go into more detail about those offline if you want to shoot me an email. Old Town is actually a California state park. It's the most visited California state park. It's a combination of museums and historical sites, restaurants and boutiques, A lot of people go there to explore a couple of museums, have some great margaritas and burritos, and get a little bit of history along with some great full bellies of Mexican food. Gaslamp Quarter is kind of what we call our entertainment capital. Was quite exciting the last weekend as the Padres won their games. Our baseball stadium is just outside of Gaslamp Quarter. Over 200 restaurants, bars, and nightclubs within a 16-block area. Very safe, very walkable. You can be going from an Irish pub to a Russian restaurant to a sushi restaurant to a dive bar. There's so many different types of eating and drinking opportunities there in the Gaslamp, as well as nightclubs and lounges. Little Italy is our current hotspot for cuisine. You'll see a lot of the top chefs from American Food Network shows have established restaurants there within Little Italy. Not necessarily just Italian food. There's a wide range of foods, but that's kind of the hotspot these days. They've also got a fantastic farmers market every Saturday for those who want to explore and kind of live like the local, and some great piazzas and a really fun food hall with lots of different food options as well. Coronado's mostly well known for the Hotel del Coronado. You see the picture there. They've just they're in the middle of a $400 million renovation. I'll touch on that in just a minute. But it's kind of more your quaint small town America neighborhood within San Diego. It's across the bay, you cross a bridge from downtown to get into the islands, and life just kind of seems to slow down over there. It's a lot of people taking bike rides, enjoying the long stretches of beaches. Coronado Beach has been ranked one of the highest rated beaches within the U.S. In various surveys over the years as well. And Balboa Park is our cultural center just outside of downtown as well. 15 different museums. The zoo is located there. There's a theater, great botanical gardens. I always like to go to the Spanish Village Art Center, which is an enclave of artists that are doing different types of mediums of art that you can watch them create or purchase. La Jolla is our jewel by the sea, great historic hotels and shops, boutique shopping right along the water. Everyone loves to go to see the sea lions along the water. And for those, again, who are very active to the East County, you'll see the Anza Borrego Desert State Park, which is an immense state park for hiking and exploring, Cuyamaca State Forest, and other areas to explore as well. So I'll just hit some of the new highlights in San Diego. The Shell. The Shell is an amazing outdoor musical performance area just behind the convention center in downtown, right along the bay and the water. Our symphony will be playing throughout the summer months, concerts there, but lots of famous artists will be coming in to perform as well. So great to be right on the water, enjoy that water breeze, and listen to some amazing music. As I mentioned, the Hotel del Coronado is just wrapping up a $400 million renovation. The Storehouse is their new area with 1, 2, and 3 bedroom suite products, their own private pool, right there on the beach. Fantastic opportunity for your luxury clients to have a property that's right there on the beach within San Diego. And lastly, Comic-Con Museum. So Comic-Con is our biggest convention of the year. 130,000 people descend on San Diego over 4 days in July to experience the entertainment of comics and TVs and movies. So for those who can't make it during those 4 days, as tickets sell out quite quickly, they've opened a museum in Balboa Park where you can go and experience some of the fun of Comic-Con through the costumes, through various exhibits highlighting different pop culture movies and TVs and TV shows and comics. So fun to go experience that throughout the year. So with that, I thank you for your time. Again, I'm Benjamin Eastman with the San Diego Tourism Authority. There's my email address if you'd like to reach out. And we also have a specialist program we'd encourage you to take a look at. There's the address, sandiego.org/specialist. We'd love for you to get to know San Diego a little bit better and take that quiz. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. Oh, can't start my video. There we go. I am so in for all of those culinary experiences there. And I'm curious to know, how old is too old to go to Sesame Place? Just a question. Asking for a friend. Thank you very much for that. I'm just going to share my screen again and I'll introduce you all to our next guest. So we are heading over to Anaheim. Please welcome Michael Young, the Manager of Tourism Development at Visit Anaheim, joining us from Anaheim today. Welcome, Michael. Thank you for taking time out of your afternoon as well to join us today.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. We're gonna jump
I'll
in
stop
here
sharing
real
for
quick.
you. There you go.
Got it. All right. And is that working?
Not yet. Ah, there we go.
There we go. Okay, well, yes, thank you so much for having me. And all right, we're going to talk a little bit about Anaheim. And when most people hear Anaheim, they are thinking one thing, and that is the Disneyland Resort. And yes, we are home to Mickey, Minnie, and the original Disneyland Resort. They've got some great announcements. If anybody was watching on Disney Plus, they were live streaming the news from their D23 convention a few weeks back in late September about the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. And so there's going to be some new nighttime spectaculars, but Anaheim has a lot more to offer. We have grown, transformed, and evolved along with the Disney product that we have here. And so we're going to talk a little bit about where we are and what else we have to offer. Then we'll get back to Disney. But we are centrally located between LA and San Diego. So it's great to have Kat and Benjamin here because we're kind of the Southern California trifecta. You're going to hit us all in that perfect Southern California vacation. But we are located in Orange County, which has 47 miles of coastline. And so when we're talking about Anaheim, a trip to Anaheim would not be complete without experiencing the shopping, the food, the coastline, and our partners to the north and south in LA and San Diego. Getting around Anaheim specifically, we are a very connected destination. So we have Anaheim Regional Transportation. It is an electric fleet. You can see this is one of the buses there, but it connects our resort hotels to the Disneyland Resort, Knott's Berry Farm, Medieval Times, the outlets at Orange, and Angel Stadium. So also in our downtown area, we have what's known as free rides around the neighborhood, or we call it FRAN. And you can see that's a 6-passenger vehicle, but it's an app-based system. So if you're hitting the local dining scene or any of our 21 breweries, you can order that FRAN car and get around free, and then it'll connect you with the ART buses to get you back to the hotel. So it is a very connected city. And what are we known for? Well, Disney is, again, we're going to come back to that, but California's first theme park was actually Knott's Berry Farm. And a lot of people are like, wait, a berry farm is a theme park? Yes, it started as an actual functioning berry farm. Any boysenberry you've ever eaten was created at Knott's Berry Farm. They cross-pollinated a raspberry, a blackberry, and a loganberry to make the boysenberry. And so this theme park kind of grew up around that and Mrs. Knott's famous chicken, but now it has all kinds of amazing roller coasters, the Peanuts gang, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the rest of them. And they do a boysenberry festival, kind of tying back to those roots. But family fun is synonymous with Anaheim. We have Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament, Pirates Dinner Adventure. So we've got some great options for the family. And our downtown area, we've got the Packing House. Packing House is an old abandoned citrus packing plant that it was gutted and turned into an international dining hall with over 54 vendors. So you can get everything from Georgia's Southern Comfort food to, well, they've got a speakeasy called the Blind Rabbit, where the wall opens right up and you're in a 1920s style speakeasy. Speaking of speakeasy, well, we have 21 breweries. And so we've got Modern Times. You can see the picture there. It's an actual brewery with a swimming pool. Ballast Point, Unsung, are a few others, but we also have Strong Water, which is new in town, which is a tiki bar that has some amazing food. And another great thing about Anaheim, we love our rooftop lounges. So these are just 3. We have Parkistry, the 5th, and Rise, but we also have Top of the V, which is at the Viv Hotel, which is one of our newest offerings. which takes me to my next point. We have new hotels in the Anaheim area. We are continuing to grow. The Westin Anaheim Resort opened, and we've got all three of these, the Westin, JW Marriott, and the Viv Hotel, all offering amazing firework views from their rooftop lounges. But the restaurants featured in each of these properties are very unique. In fact, the Viv, our chef, is actually from just outside of San Diego, so we get a little tiny taste of that Cali Baja cuisine that Benjamin was talking about. But yeah, you got to taste some of that. We do have unique dining opportunities in Anaheim, and I did mention the Packing House is the food hall. We also have Steelcraft, which is just to the west of us in Garden Grove, and it is a food hall that's made out of converted shipping containers. And so you can kind of see that from the picture there. But Timu Solani, who was a hockey player for the Anaheim Ducks, actually has a restaurant there called the Penalty Box with hockey themed foods. Kind of an interesting concept to check out. Center Street is another great place for unique food. We have amazing desserts there. There's a restaurant called House of Chimney Cakes, which is kind of a Hungarian churro filled with ice cream and put toppings around the outside. So that's something you'll definitely want to check out. All right, so getting inspired. Visit Anaheim is here to kind of help you extend your stay beyond Disney. And those are just a few of the things that are going on. We also have a Sip, Savor, and Shop Pass, which you can let your traveling clients know that if they download that, they can get deals from the 60 restaurants, transportation, and activities around everything from whale watching experiences to the local McDonald's. But we've got all kinds of different shopping and discounts so you can feel like a local. In addition to that, we have a new website. So if you're looking to kind of brush up on your Anaheim knowledge, you can plan out a trip. We have sample itineraries, updated restaurant lists, attractions, and they can really explain the routes and how to get around with Art and Fran. And that leads us a little scroll of the website here. But like my two counterparts here, we also have a specialist program, and you can see that, anaheimspecialist.com. This allows you to become an expert and keep up to speed on new developments, on what's coming, and so you too can become that expert of Anaheim. Speaking of new developments, we have an exciting new project that is just breaking ground. It's called OC Vibe, and it is going to be adjacent to the Honda Center, where our Anaheim Ducks play hockey in the National Hockey League. It's going to be, well, if you're familiar with LA Live, it's going to be an entertainment venue that allows us to do large and small concerts, as well as a lot of public space. You can see it's 20 acres of public space and 3 miles of public trails, but there will be retail, dining, shopping. And if you want to get more information on that, you can go to ocvibe.com. And as always, I'm Mike Young. If you have any specific questions for me, I'm Young at visitanaheim.org, and I'm happy to help however I can.
Thank you so much, Mike. Really appreciate that. I am all for a rooftop bar, a rooftop lounge. So loving it. I'll meet you there sometime.
Perfect. Save you a seat.
Excellent. I'm just going to share my screen over here. So what we'll do, we're going to open up for any questions anybody has. So I'll get the gang to come back on board. If you've got any questions for Kathleen, Benjamin, Michael, or myself, just drop them into the Zoom question box and we will answer as many as we can. Bear with me for a second. Sorry, I've just lost my Zoom here. If you guys can see those questions coming in already, if you can let me know. We don't actually have any yet. Oh, here we go. So Danielle would like to know, can the Anaheim Tourism show the slide with the rooftop bars again, please? Danielle, someone after my own heart. We'll send you a recording. Usually it takes about a week to get it uploaded and edited. We'll send you a recording, Danielle. You can see them. You can see them on there. Anne would like to know, what's the best way to get by public transport from LAX to Anaheim? Michael or Kathleen, do you want to have?
Should I field this one?
Yeah.
And Michael can contradict me if he feels that there's a different answer, but there currently isn't one, as far as I know. I mean, you can get the train or the bus, but in terms of like a stream, like an easy way to get there, there isn't really at the moment. So I definitely recommend either one of the transfer options. I know that Carmel does transfers to Anaheim as well. Otherwise, an Uber is always a great option. It's probably, cost effective as well. So depending on how many people you've got, transfer or through, rideshare or cabs, I guess.
Yeah, Kathleen, Carmel is a great suggestion. And then we will be coming very, very soon is the Anaheim LAX link, which is another service that will take you directly to the Arctic kind of transportation hub in Anaheim.
Cool.
Great, thanks, Michael. So Danielle's saying that transfers are really tricky now with wholesalers, so that's really great. So thank you for that. Hi, Benjamin from Matthew. I always struggle with transfers between San Diego, Carlsbad, and Anaheim, Santa Monica. Do you have any suggestions for that?
Yeah, I think similar issues to the previous question. The Amtrak train route is quite effective usually. There's about 11 trips north and south every day. There is a stop in Anaheim and several stops in San Diego, depending on what part of San Diego you're going to. That doesn't reach Santa Monica. I think for Santa Monica, you probably have to take the train up to Union Station and then get on a metro, probably, Kat?
Yeah.
To get to Santa Monica. So it'd be at least one or two transfers there. But yes, an Uber from Anaheim to San Diego would be quite pricey. So I would say if you're looking for straight public transportation options, then the train would be the best way to go.
Great, thank you. Just jumping back to the Anaheim LAX link, Connie would like to know if we know when that's coming, or that's just a coming soon, watch this space.
Yeah, it's a coming soon, watch this space. They had initially kind of wanted to launch in July of this year, and they're just working on getting drivers. So it's coming soon though. Yeah,
great. Danielle would like to know if Legoland will be sold through our Aussie wholesalers at some stage. Do you guys know that?
I would have to double check on that. They're definitely active in the trade space, but if they're having issues with the Australia market, I can certainly check into that to see which wholesalers they're working with, or which receptives they're working with.
Yeah, great.
Daniel, if you want to shoot me an email, then I'm happy to follow up with you.
Yeah, great. Thank you. If you let me know, we can send that out when we know. Any shuttle or private transfer services? I'm not sure which shuttle or private transfer services Matthew is referring to.
I think that might be the San Diego to Anaheim ones.
Yeah, okay. Shuttle or private transfers between San Diego and Anaheim?
I mean, Carmel is going to be the other option to reach out to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connie's asking if we can get a PDF. I'm not sure that we can do that, but I'll see what I can do, Connie, and we'll try and get that webinar recording up as soon as possible. Any other questions before we head into our Kahoot quiz? We're probably going to run a teeny bit over time today, but hopefully most of you can still join us for Kahoot. Any other last minute questions? Don't forget, if you do have anything that comes up after the webinar, you can always, well, I'll pop a slide up with my email address at the end as well. You can always drop us a line and we'll refer you on to the appropriate person to help you answer that as well.
Looks like there's a question in the chat about West Hollywood restaurants and bars.
Yeah.
For
Sorry, I was
straight
looking at the
couples.
question about, so I didn't see the chat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one, Kat?
Yep. So to answer your question, yes, we do have the West Hollywood Tourism Board as well. I know they have a team here in Australia as well. But in terms of restaurants, I guess it would just depend on what kind of restaurant they're looking for. But if you want to email me, or I'm sure Tony can connect you with the West Hollywood team, then that might be the best way to answer that question.
Yeah. Actually, we'll have a look at that for you. Honeymooners in LA and San Diego, anything totally different I can suggest to impress? Staying SLS in LAX and in the Gaslamp Quarter in San Diego.
One of the best things I would recommend for honeymooners is that one of our helicopter operators, Orbic Air, does like a glamping tour. So you can get a helicopter up to like the mountainside and they do like a glamping experience, or you can just do a picnic if they don't want to go overnight. So you can either do that just somewhere in the, Los Angeles County. Otherwise, another great option is to do a helicopter over to Catalina Island, which is a beautiful spot. It's only a 15-minute helicopter ride and it's actually quite affordable. So if you're going from, again, if you're heading down to San Diego, it's probably something to do on the way because you can go from Long Beach Airport. So you connect with the helicopter over or get the ferry service one way, helicopter back. But over there you've got, zip lining, horse riding. It's a very different experience, very Mediterranean vibe. So that's something a bit different, but I think the glamping helicopter is a good option as well. But that's just tip of the iceberg. So there's plenty more if you want to touch base.
Yeah, same for San Diego, Louise. You're welcome to shoot me an email. I would have a huge list for you probably, but depending on budget, we certainly have helicopter tours as well. I didn't really touch on it in my presentations because I didn't have time, but we like to talk about day tripping down into Mexico, into Baja. There's a great wine region down there called the Valle de Guadalupe, which has some of Mexico's top chefs with restaurants and some great wine tasting experiences. You can either have a tour operator pick you up at your San Diego hotel and take you down and back, or the helicopter company as well can take you down into the valley and bring you back afterwards. So it'll be maybe top line, but lots of local stuff within San Diego as well.
Amazing. Thanks for that. Thanks for all your questions, guys. If there is anything else that comes up, like I said, just email us and we'll help you out there. Let's jump straight into our Kahoot quiz before we go, for those of us who can stay on a little bit longer. So let's bring up the details here. Oh, actually, before we do head into the quiz, the last thing from me is to give you the heads up to save the date for our next webinar, and it will be the last one for the year, so the 30th of November. Save the date and we'll send you the details and registration links in the coming weeks. So it is the same time, 10 a.m. Australian daylight, that should be daylight savings time, sorry, and 12 p.m. New Zealand daylight savings time. For the 30th of November. So let's head into our Kahoot quiz. Who would like to win $200? So I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody for joining us today. Michael, Kathleen, Benjamin, as well as all of you who've taken the time out of your mornings to join us this morning. As mentioned earlier, we're going to post a replay in the Facebook group and we'll send a link via email to everybody who's registered that you can share on as well. Please stay in touch with us on our socials and feel free to reach out. If you have any other questions that didn't get answered today, just reach out to one of us. My email is there on the screen, so tmurphy@thebrandusa.com.au. I can pass your email on to anybody that you need if you've got any further questions. I'm just noticed there's one more chat. I just want to check it's not in a new question. But thank you all for taking the time out of your very busy mornings, and I look forward to seeing you all on our last webinar for the year on 30th of November. Thanks all.